Alright, good afternoon. Today my group was presentation about Tularemia and cat scratch fever. My group is 16A and my name is Chanlai Sapun.
And my name is Ariana Torella.
Now we take you over to the introduction.
We'll talk about how both of these diseases presented are zoonotic bacterial infections transmitted from animals to humans. They impact the cardiovascular and lymphatic systems. It is essential to understand how animal contact leads to human infection, as early diagnosis and prevention are crucial steps to avoid complications.
And now we're moving to pathogen overview. Reviewing about tularemia is caused by the Franchella thoracis, a highly infectious bacteria that can be multiple body system. And the cat scratch disease is caused by the Pathogen Hansella is the bacteria that primarily infects the lymphatic system but may occasionally spread it to the other organ. But both bacteria are the germ-negative and surviving with the host cells, which make them difficult for the immune system to eliminate it.
We'll begin with tularemia. Tularemia is a bacterial infection that humans usually get from animals, so it is called a zoonotic infection. It can affect multiple parts of the body, including the skin, lymph nodes, eyes, throat, lungs, and the cardiovascular system, depending on how the bacteria enters the body. Cat scratch disease is also caused by bacteria and is a zoonotic, but it mainly affects the lymphatic system, which is responsible for filtering bacteria and keeping the immune system healthy. In some cases, especially in people with weakened immune systems, the infection can spread to other organs such as the liver, spleen, eyes, or heart.
The next slide was talking about the morphology of the Franchella thoracis.
Francisella tularensis is an extremely small, pleomorphic gram-negative coccobacillus, meaning it can appear as both short rods and oval-shaped bacteria. It typically measures 0.2 to 0.5 micrometers in width and 0.7 to 1.0 micrometers in length, making it difficult to see under a standard microscope without special staining. The bacterium is non-motile, so it does not have flagella to move on its own, and it is non-spore forming, meaning it cannot form resistant spores like some bacteria. Unlike many bacteria, F. tularensis does not have a true polysaccharide capsule, but it possesses a lipid-rich outer membrane, which is essential for its ability to survive inside host macrophages, the immune system that normally destroys bacteria. This membrane helps the bacterium resist phagocytosis, the process by which immune cells engulf and destroy pathogens, allowing it to spread throughout the body and cause systemic infection. Cells are usually observed single rather than in chains or clusters, which is a distinguishing feature when examining infected tissues. This combination of small size, intracellular survival, and resistance to immune defenses makes F. tularensis a highly virulent pathogen capable of causing severe disease in humans.
Alright, the next slide is talking about the Bartonella and Hansella. It's a small, tiny curved germ-negative root measure like 0.5 to 0.6 millimeter in width and a rounding to 1.0 millimeter in length, and it's a bit white molecularly due to the type of the IV pill, but it lacks the flagella. It may producing a thin protein coupled that active to the host cells and coronate on the blood sugar osmoles. And the non-hypotic, the bacteria can be produced in the cat and red blood cell which have maintained infection in the animal received at the Bartonella heracis by Characha 2022.
The provided diagram illustrates the life cycle in human diseases caused by the bacterium Bartonella hensela. Cats act as the natural reservoir host, with cat fleas serving as vectors transmitting the bacteria between felines. Humans are identical hosts who typically contract the infection through a cat scratch contaminated with flea feces. The outcome of the infection depends on the human's host immune system. Healthy individuals generally develop the self-limiting cat scratch disease, while immunocompromised individuals may suffer from the more severe condition.
Next slide is the transmission of the tularemia. Humans usually getting the tularemia from the contact with the infection animal or the bite, which is why containing the zoonotic disease. The most common way people becoming infected through the bite or the deeper bite, which carry the Francisella tuberculosis from the wild animal to the human. People can also becoming infection by the holding animal, such as like rabbit, cat, or the dog, when it cleaning the skin or holding them. In the rare case, the bacteria can be transmitted through the inhalation of the contaminated or the aerosols. For example, when it cleaning animal pet, moving over the dead animal, or working in the environment where infected animals have been, eating or drinking contaminated food or the water. It also possible by uncommon route of the infection. Importantly, the tumor does not separate it from the uncommon route of the infection. It doesn't separate it from the person to the person, so it cause connected with the infection individual and is not risks, such as hunting, camping, or spending time outdoor in the area where infection animal like live increasing likelihood to the bacteria. Understanding those transmission routes help nurse education patient on how provide infection and to the rest of the export. By the Fetula Tourism Transmission 2023.
For this slide, we'll explain the transmission of cat scratch disease. Cat scratch disease is primarily transmitted through scratches or bites from infected cats, with kittens being the most common source, because they are more likely to carry the bacteria. The infection can also occur when flea feces contaminate the cat's claws or teeth and then enter open wounds, mucous membranes, or the eyes of humans. Fleas transmit the bacteria between cats, maintaining the infection in the cat population. Contact with stray or feral cats increases the risk of infection, while person-to-person transmission does not occur.
Next slide is the sign of the symptom of the tularemia.
Symptoms of Tomaria usually appear 3 to 5 days after exposure. Common signs include fever, chills, fatigue, and headache, which reflect the body's immune response to infection. The common form, ulcer glandular tomaria, causes a skin ulcer at the site where the bacteria entered the body and swollen, painful lymph nodes nearby. If untreated, tomaria can progress to severe complications, including respiratory problems, bacteria in the blood, and damage to organs such as the heart, lungs, or kidneys.
This slide is talking about the sign of the symptom of the cat scratching the disease. The symptom of the cat scratch the disease typically development 1 to 3 weeks after exposed to the uninfected cat. The first sign usually the small red bump, purple, or the fused bump, the site of the scratch or the bite, following by the surrounding and the tender lymph node, most commonly near the area of the injured. And some people may experience like a low-grade fever, fighting, in the people case. Typically, it happens to the people with a weak immune system. The infection can be appeared to the other organ, usually like eye problem, liver, or the lungs problem, or the heart problem. You can see the picture, like some people causing the skin bump or rashing, surrounding pain, the lipid node, and the muscles, and the head, and the fever, like the picture is showing. This slide was talking about if the tularemia isn't treated, it can be got worse over time. The lipid node can be swelled up even from the pulse. Sometimes the bacteria separated into the blood, causing the serious infection. This can lead to the low blood pressure and organ damage, like the heart, kidney, and the skin unclear can also leave the scar after the healing.
Most cases of cat scratch disease resolve within weeks to a few months, but without treatment, the lymph nodes can remain swollen, tender, and may even form abscesses. In some cases, the infection can spread to the liver, spleen, eyes, bones, or heart, and complications such as endocarditis, bacillary angiomatosis, or neurogenitis may occur.
The second slide is talking about the treatment. Tularemia is the primary treatment of the tularemia in the antibiotics, and it's called symptomicins and give it in the intramuscular injection. It is highly infection at the kill Francisella terraces and providing the complication and other effects. Antibiotics in the gentamicin, which can be administered by intramuscularly expressed in the severe infection for milder case or when an overall option in next. The hygiene may be prescribed starting the antibiotic as early possible. It can be providing the infection from the separated to the blood stream or the organ and reducing the rest of the death. And this slide was talking about the treatment cat scratch disease.
Most cases of cat scratch disease heal on their own within a few weeks, but antibiotics can help reduce symptoms and prevent complications. Erythromycin is often prescribed to decrease lymph node swelling and shorten recovery time. For more serious infections that affect the eyes, liver, or heart, stronger antibiotics such as doxycycline or rifampicin may be used. In rare severe cases like heart valve infection, a combination of doxycycline and gentamicin may be required. Supportive care includes using acetaminophen or ibuprofen for fever and pain, and warm compresses to relieve swollen lymph nodes.
This slide is talking the prevention of the tularemia. Currently, there is no approved vaccine to providing the tularemia. The best protection that comes from avoiding the exposure to the bacterium, and the people should avoiding the thin and the deeper flight by wearing the long sleeve, long pants, and using the insect repellent when it outdoor. When it handling wild animal, especially the rabbit or the cat or the dogs, it's important to wear the long glove and washing hand after holding them. People should also avoid drinking under the treat water or eating the common food, taking those prescription during the hunting, farming, or outdoor activities. Generally reduces the risk of infection. This slide is talking about the prevention cat scratch disease.
There is no vaccine available for cat scratch disease, so prevention focuses on reducing exposure to the bacteria. The best way to prevent infection is to avoid scratches and bites, especially from kittens, since they are more likely to carry Bartonella hensela. Regular flea control for household pets is essential because fleas spread the bacteria between cats. People should also wash hands thoroughly after handling cats and clean any scratches or bites immediately with soap and water. Avoiding rough play and contact with stray or feral cats further lowers the risk of infection.
And this slide is talking about epidemiology Tularemia. The Tularemia is the rare disease in the United States, which on average about 205 report cases each year. Its total is 0.06 case per 100,000 people. The number of the report cases is highly straightly increased in the resident decrease slightly due in the improving the disease tracking and environment change and attracting the tick population. Most cases occur in Oklahoma and Kansas, where the bacteria naturally found in the white animal. The disease is seen more than often older adults over 65 years old, typically white, non-Hispanic male, often due to outdoor exposure infection, spread during the warmer months. This thick and deeper flight activities in it highly gas infection.
This slide will talk about the epidemiology of cat scratch disease. Cat scratch disease is most common in the southern U.S., including Texas, Florida, and southeastern coastal states. It mainly affects children and adolescents under 18, especially boys. Incidence has remained stable or slightly decreased due to flea control, public awareness, and early treatment. Warm climates allow longer flea breeding seasons, maintaining transmission among cats.
This slide is talking about Tularemia cause of the study. In 2017 February, a 6-year-old girl in the Iran developed a swollen lipid node, fever, and the skin rashes after eating the meat from the wild area that has been hunted. And the blood and the urine test did not show any infection, but the father testing with the ISA and the genetic analysis (PCR) confirmed the presence of the Fagella tularensis, the bacteria that caused the tumor. The patient was treated with the antibiotic gentamicin, and her condition began to improve with 2 days because the disease was infected early and treated properly. She made a full recovery without a long-term complication.
For this slide, we'll talk about the case study with cat scratch disease. In the study, a 23-year-old veterinary student in Pakistan developed fever, neck swelling, and fatigue after contact with his cat. Examination revealed swollen lymph nodes and blood pressure was low. He was treated with meropenem and erythromycin, followed by doxycycline and rifampicin for 6 weeks. The patient recovered fully, demonstrating the importance of recognizing exposure and early treatment. Tularemia can infect people just by mowing the lawn. Running over an infected rabbit with a lawnmower can aerosolize the bacteria and make someone sick without ever touching the animal. Tularemia is one of the few bacteria that can infect through intact skin. The bacteria that causes cat scratch disease glows under ultraviolet light naturally. And Bartonella can make some people have hallucinations, rage episodes, or personality changes.
And the other question, which Fungilla traces to the human?
Why are kittens more likely to transmit Bartonella hensela than adult cats? And what preventive measure protects against both infections?
Our the last week's reference that we find, you can click on the link and you will see the information. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.